What's going on, everyone? It's Bars, and I'm back for a big AFL preview for the preliminary finals coming up this weekend. We have two of them, two games coming up, so I'll be previewing them shortly. As for the NFL preview, that I slept in a bit too long this morning, so didn't get to preview before the first game, unfortunately. So what I'll do is I'll do that video later tonight, put up later tonight, or possibly tomorrow morning, depending on when I want to get it up. And then the Premier League preview will also be out tomorrow as well. So we've got a couple of videos coming tomorrow, but at the moment this is what we're focusing on. So first game we'll get stuck into it. Richmond versus Collingwood, the MCG at 7:20 PM Adelaide time, 7:50 for the Eastern States. No changes for either side. So both sides will be going in as their sides from their previous matches. So Richmond have always had the week off, and Collingwood are coming off their win against... crap, that would have been good if I'd actually researched that. If I'd actually said who they versed last week. Giants, how could I forget that? Giants, yeah. Playing the Giants, big win against the Giants, and Richmond obviously coming off their win in the first week. And I believe that was against... I should have done this beforehand. Hawthorn. Okay, Hawthorn. Not a good start to the video, guys. A bit of confusion there. But anyway, Richmond off their week off again, come off their win against Hawthorn. So, to be honest, if someone asked me, I have a bit of a sneaky suspicion that Collingwood have got a real good chance tonight to get the job done, I think. I believe that they can get the job done against Richmond. I just think Collingwood just got a lot more, what's the word, I don't know, I just think that they match up against Richmond very well. They don't necessarily have more, but they match up Richmond well with their speed, their energy, their running power, like that. They're very similar game style. I think that Collingwood, out of all the teams in the AFL, probably match up against them the best in terms of that sort of play. It probably would have been deserving if it was a Richmond-Collingwood grand final, possibly, because I think they've probably been the two of the stronger teams this year, which is why they were both in the preliminary final. I still do think, though, Richmond will probably still get the job done. Richmond have been there before. They've done it. They did against Giants last year. Their experience, they obviously, as I said, they won the grand final last year. Finished top of the ladder. Even though there is a bit of a mystery, because a lot of teams that do finish top of the ladder don't generally do as well. Don't generally always go on and win the premiership. It generally comes from second, third, fourth, fifth, and recent years it's come from as low as like 7th and 8th. In showcase of the Bulldogs against the Sydney Swans a couple of years ago. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. I do think it'll be a very close game. I think it will be within 5 goals either way. I don't think it'll be a high scoring affair. I think it may be both teams end up anywhere between the 60 to 90 point range. I don't think it'll end up being over 100 points. I wouldn't expect, but you never know. So yeah, this, as I said, big game. And I think that the week off for Richmond, it's a big one, because it could do them the world of good. It could do them big favour, as they have been able chance to rest and look at Collingwood for a lot longer than what Collingwood are going to look at Richmond. That'll be interesting. But then it could be a negative effect as well, because obviously round 23 came, we had a bye, then they played a game, they won that game, then had another bye. So they've only played 2 games of footy in a month. So it could be, as I said, could be a positive, could be a negative, could work either way. Like Collingwood might do a lot better because they've kept that consistency and continuity going of playing football, a game of footy each week. So, as I said, again, I think Richmond win, but I would probably almost rather see Collingwood win, see someone different in the grand final than last year, because it's always good to see different teams play in the grand final beside the SA teams. But I do think Richmond will get the job done, and they deserve it as well. I'm not saying that they don't deserve it. They certainly do deserve to be in the grand final because they've been the best team all year. But if that will happen, I don't know. And the second preliminary final, West Coast Melbourne. I think this one will be an absolute ripper of a game. This one's actually going to be at 1:20 West Australian time. So that would that be 2:50 or 3:20 here or something, or 3:50? One of the two, I think. I'm not 100% sure on the exact time it would be in Adelaide. It didn't say here. It just says 1:20 Australian West time. So that's all right. There's been a change for each side. We have Schofield's come in for Shepherd, and Joel Smith has come in for Bailey Fritsch, who's a bit unfortunate actually, because it's probably a bit of a hard luck story for the finals. But unfortunately, finals, that's what happens. There's always a story each year about that, and unfortunately, Freda is that one to go. But in terms of the game, it's the same with the Richmond Collingwood game. Is the week off for West Coast going to do them good? Because it's like it'd probably do lots of maybe Josh Kennedy good, people like that have had a few injuries throughout the year. But is it necessarily going to be good to have a bye round 23? No, sorry, bye after round 23, week 1 of finals, bye again, and then play final. I'm still very sceptical of. It's very, very hard to say. I've only obviously seen last year. That happened. So again, as I said, it'll be interesting to see. But I honestly don't think that will come into account, because I honestly think that Melbourne will win this game. And I'll tell you why. I think Melbourne have got that rhythm going. I think that the continually playing of football week in, week out, and them knowing that they're building towards something, I think that will hold them in good stead. I think that they'll be very, very strong on West Coast. They beat them this year over in West Australia in round 23 to make the fight to confirm their spot in the finals. They beat West Coast over there in Western Australia last year by a goal from Tom McDonald in the last minute or so, and I remember that specifically because I tipped Melbourne in that game, and I was very, very happy that they won, because I went on to win the tipping comp that year. So that was certainly probably a game that I remember. My mum went West Coast and I went Melbourne, so that Melbourne won me the tipping comp, you could almost say. But I think Melbourne have got a real chance. But West Coast are a great football side. They're playing at home. They're always very hard to beat over in Western Australia. So it will be very interesting. But Collingwood got very, very close, and Melbourne on their day I think they can be better than Collingwood. If they get all the pieces put together, I think they can be better than almost any side in the competition. Maybe Richmond could be possibly the one team that they might not be able to be better at, but it'll be interesting. So it'll be. I think that both games are going to be within 5 goals. I think both games are going to be very close. But if I was to predict, I'd predict at the moment going to be a Richmond Melbourne grand final next week, which would be a big game. Obviously, the two teams that play on the Anzac Eve game playing the grand final, I think, and it'll be massive. Probably have over 100,000 people at the MCG. I think they'll have over very, very close to 95,000+ at the MCG tonight for the Richmond Collingwood game. But I think it'll be Richmond Melbourne. If someone asked me what would you like to see, I'd probably say Melbourne Collingwood, 2 Queen's birthday match teams. But it'll be interesting to see exactly how what happens. So that will be it for today. Thank you for joining me and listening to me talk about the 2 finals. As I said, the NFL video will be up tomorrow, depending, and the Premier League preview will be out tomorrow. And then also there's another 3 videos in terms of FIFA coming. There'll be possibly me playing against a mate, and you'll find out who that will be possibly when in the next few days. That hopefully will be out sometime over the weekend, possibly early next week. I'll confirm with him. We also have FIFA 18 Roundup. That'll be the final video. And then on next Wednesday will be FIFA 19's. FIFA 19's out. so that'll be out, and obviously we'll get stuck into that, and there'll be some FIFA points, there'll be some pack opening and stuff, and my mate will be here as well. Mate Ryan will be here to be in the video as well. So I'm hoping to be able to get this camera onto the video and put it in the corner so you guys can actually see our reactions and stuff from the whole video. So hopefully I'll be able to incorporate that into it. That'll be a work in progress. But yeah, so that is how we're going to do things over the next week or so. And then next week will be the usual. Next week will be the final AFL preview for the year. Obviously with the grand final, and then Premier League and NFL will continue as usual, and then hopefully I can start doing a few more Rocket League videos. I'll do like a Madden recap, like just sort of how Madden's going and stuff like that. So we've got a few things coming, as I've mentioned previously, but they're coming closer. So there'll be a few things next week, as I've said. So yeah, if you like the video, chuck it a like, show me some love on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you're new around here, if you watch this first time, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, go watch them. Share with your friends so they don't miss any content that they may want to see, and then comment on the video if you have any comments, and yeah, so anyway guys, I'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow. So have a good night guys, cheers.